Think Outside the Lines is a space for anyone ready to stop checking boxes, to step off autopilot, and create the life you actually want, with clarity, intention, and alignment. Whether you're questioning the default path, rebuilding from scratch, or just looking to feel a little more like yourself. Let me paint a picture for you. You're at dinner with friends. Someone asks how things are going. And you say, good. Really good, actually. And you smile. And you mean it. Mostly. Because things are good. The job is solid. The relationship looks healthy. The apartment, the car, the routine. It all works. From the outside, your life is something people would look at and say, they've got it together. And that's the part that makes this so confusing. Because underneath that, underneath the really good, actually, there's this other thing. This quiet hum that you can't quite name. It's not crisis. It's not depression. It's not even unhappiness exactly. It's more like a distance between the life people see and the one you're actually living inside of. That's the gap between looking good and feeling true. And if you've never noticed it before, this might be the first time someone's named it for you. But if you have noticed it, if you've been carrying it, then you already know exactly what I'm talking about. And you also know how exhausting it is. Because maintaining the gap takes energy. Real energy. It's the energy of smiling when you're not sure you mean it. Of saying yes to things that don't excite you because they're supposed to excite you. Of performing competence and confidence while quietly wondering whether any of this is actually what you want. And the thing is, nobody around you can see it. That's what makes it so isolating. You look successful. You look happy. You look like someone who has no reason to question anything. So you don't. You keep going. You keep performing. And the gap gets a little wider every year. Here's what I want you to hear. That gap doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means something is right with you. It means you're aware enough to notice. It means some part of you, maybe a part you've been ignoring for a while, is paying attention to something deeper than the surface. And closing the gap doesn't require blowing up your life. I want to be really clear about that. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need to end your relationship. You don't need to sell everything and move to Bali. Closing the gap starts with honesty. Not the kind of honesty where you post a vulnerable caption on Instagram. Not the kind where you have a dramatic conversation with everyone in your life. Just the quiet, private kind. The kind where you sit with yourself and ask, what's actually working here? And what am I holding on to because I'm afraid of what it would mean to let it go? That's a hard question. And you don't need to answer it right now. But I think just asking it, just giving yourself permission to ask it, starts to change things. Here's what happens when you live in the gap for too long. You start to lose trust in yourself. You start to feel like a fraud, not because you're faking your skills or your experience, but because the version of you that the world interacts with isn't the whole picture. And the longer you go without closing that distance, the harder it gets to remember what the whole picture even looks like. So this isn't about fixing. It's about noticing. It's about being willing to look at your life, your real life, not the curated version, and ask one honest question. Where's the gap? Where's the space between what looks good and what actually feels true? Because that space, that's where the work is, not the hustle kind of work. The quiet, honest, sometimes uncomfortable kind. The kind that leads to something real. So I'll leave you with this question to ponder. Where's the gap between looking good and feeling true? I'd love to hear your answer. Drop it in the comments, send me a message. Wherever you're hearing this, let me know. And thanks for being here. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Choosing to step off autopilot and think differently about your life takes work, and I don't take it lightly that you're here. If today's episode resonated, the best way to support the show is to share it with someone who might need to hear it. And whenever you're ready to go deeper, whether through free worksheets, guided audio reflections, or one-on-one coaching, you can find everything over at thinkoutsidelines.com. Be well, and I'll catch you next time.